The polling has ended. The counting of votes is underway. It was election day in Pakistan, and in a few hours from now, we'll know who will form the next government. They don't have electronic voting machines yet. They use paper ballots, so the counting could take some time. But the first leads are coming in, and they're in sync with what most surveys have predicted. Imran Khan's Tehreek-e-Insaf is ahead. Incumbent Nawaz Sharif's PML-N is second. These are the early trends. Reports say that Imran Khan, Bilawal Bhutto Zardari and Asif Ali Zardari are leading in their respective constituencies. Nobody expected them not to, so no surprises there. We are still waiting for the final turnout figures. Punjab is the most populous province. It's like Uttar Pradesh in India. No party has come to power at the centre in New Delhi without winning UP. The same for Punjab in Pakistan. It's a PML-N stronghold. Only 53% polling was recorded there. Last time the voter turnout was close to 60%, and Nawaz Sharif's party won by a landslide. The votes were cast under the shadow of the gun, with an unprecedented number of military troops present. Unverified reports and pictures posted by Baloch activists on social media claim that many were forced by the army to vote. The troops on election duty were given broad judicial powers by the Pakistani establishment. They could hold on-the-spot trials. They could sentence anyone they thought was breaking the law. This alone should give you an idea of how free and fair this election in Pakistan was. There were many complaints of poll code violation. The Election Commission of Pakistan has registered 600 cases today. PTI Chief Imran Khan also spoke this morning, but he made no mention of the blast. Soon afterwards, he took to Twitter to say, and I'm quoting, "Condemnable terrorist attack in Quetta by enemies of Pakistan seeking to disrupt our democratic process. Saddened by the loss of innocent lives, Pakistanis must defeat the terrorists' designs by coming out in strength to cast their vote." This was this morning. Earlier today, as he cast his vote, Imran Khan recalled his cricketing days. He reminded the voters of Pakistan that he has been a sportsman for over 2 decades and he's always played in the interest of his country. And now his party wants the best for Pakistan, which is why he should be voted to power. That was his pitch. But his speech outside the polling station did not go down very well with the Election Commission of Pakistan. His chief rival, the PML-N's prime ministerial candidate Shehbaz Sharif, also made a last-ditch effort to woo voters, and this is what he said as he cast his ballot earlier today.
पाकिस्तान बहुत अहम दिन है, इंतहाई अहम दिन है और ये पाकिस्तान की तारीख को बदलने का और जिस तरह मैंने ये हर लम्हे गुजारिश की है फजर की नमाज सबने अदा की है। अब अल्लाह के वो लाइनों में लगें और पोलिंग स्टेशन में जाएं और शेर पर मोहर लगाएं।
All parties except Imran Khan's PTI demanded an extension of voting by 1 hour. The Election Commission decided against it. The counting is on as we speak. No poll, no survey shows Bilawal Bhutto Zardari on top, and yet he's a very important man this election season. The next government may well depend on him. In the neck-and-neck race between Imran Khan's Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf and Sharif's Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz, Bilawal Bhutto may end up being the kingmaker. For him, it's a different battle though. He's hoping to regain some of the lost charm of his party and further his mother's legacy. He's Benazir Bhutto's son. The PPP was once Pakistan's biggest national party. Today it is a diminished force, restricted largely to the traditional stronghold of the Sindh province. This is Bilawal Bhutto's electoral debut and largely a fight for survival and prestige. A hung assembly in Pakistan will be the best case scenario for him. It will allow him to flex the little political muscle that he salvages this time. Most surveys and polls have not named a clear winner, giving rise to 3 possible scenarios in Pakistan. Number 1, the PTI leads the coalition with support from nationalist parties and independents. That does not give much hope for Bilawal Bhutto Zardari other than playing some role in the opposition. The second scenario looks like this. Imran Khan joins hands with Bilawal's PPP to lead the coalition with support from provincial and ethnic parties and independents. This way, Bilawal Bhutto could share in the power pie. And number 3, Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz and Pakistan People's Party could come together to form a government. As unlikely as that may sound right now, nothing should be ruled out in politics. Both the Bhutto Zardaris and the Sharifs have been calling themselves victims of persecution, and that could be the plank for a possible alliance. Nawaz Sharif must be cursing that day when the conversation happened. Imran Khan is now firmly entrenched in the Pakistani political landscape. The youth and the middle class have reportedly come out in strong numbers to support him. What works for Mr. Khan is his reputation as Pakistan's only World Cup winning captain. His philanthropic record helps. He built hospitals and provided cancer treatment to the poor. But all that glory belongs to Imran Khan, the cricketer. What about Imran Khan, the politician? Is he cut out for the Prime Minister's job? He's never held elected office. Can he straight away be elevated to the highest in Pakistan? What's his record? What's his position on key issues? We decided to go through his speeches, his election manifesto and his campaign promises to decode the man for you. Corruption, education and healthcare were the pillars of Imran Khan's campaign. Fighting corruption was in fact the central pitch of his fiery speeches. He's projected himself as an anti-graft crusader. When asked about it, Imran Khan said that the issue of corruption will swing the undecided voters in his favor. In an interview to WION ahead of polling, Imran Khan admitted that Pakistan's sinking economy is its biggest problem. He blamed weak institutions, dropping revenue figures and corruption for it. The second big USP, if you could call it that, is his bent towards the far right. Imran Khan has shocked the world with his ultra-conservative positions. He backed the draconian blasphemy law that gives the death sentence to convicts in Pakistan. He's soft on extremism, often called a terror sympathizer. He denies the fact that Pakistan is a safe haven for terrorists. As a result of Imran Khan's hardline position, minorities in Pakistan are wary of him. But their numbers are small, they don't matter. There is a fear that Imran Khan's ascent to power will deepen sectarian divides, empower radical groups and provoke more violence in Pakistan. What about India, you may ask? Imran Khan has used India to target Nawaz Sharif. His anti-India rants reveal his position. His close aides have openly done business with internationally designated terrorists and defended them. So let's discuss how this election will impact India. Another term for Nawaz Sharif would have been ideal. He's a known devil, a wily politician who stood up to the army as much as one can in Pakistan. The realistic options now are his brother Shehbaz Sharif and Imran Khan. Sharif Sr. had built a rapport with the Indian leadership, even defying the army at times to mend fences with his eastern neighbour. He shared a personal chemistry with Narendra Modi. The Indian Prime Minister made a surprise visit to Lahore to meet his Pakistani counterpart. He touched Sharif's mother's feet to take her blessings. But now the former Prime Minister is disqualified. He's in jail. If his party comes back to power, Shehbaz Sharif will be their prime ministerial face. He is known to toe his brother's line on normalizing relations with India. On the 12th of June, right after the Trump-Kim meeting, Shehbaz Sharif had suggested that India and Pakistan resume talks. But what's said and what's done are two very different things. In the unlikely event of a win, the PML-N may not challenge the army now. In fact, Shehbaz Sharif is known to be more accommodative of the army as compared to his brother Nawaz. So a PML-N win will mean status quo. The other option, and if exit polls are to be believed, the more probable option is that Imran Khan will be the next Prime Minister of Pakistan. That's the most probable scenario. What would that mean for India? For one, the Indian government will have to deal with a completely unknown politician, a man who is a far cry from a seasoned politician like Sharif. Repeatedly used India to target Nawaz Sharif, and in an interview on WION, Imran Khan opened up on Kashmir. He spoke about India's role in ties and in worsening ties, as he put it, between the two countries.
Kashmir there's a independence freedom movement going on in Kashmir, and India blames Pakistan for that. And so therefore that Kashmiri freedom movement is an impediment between peace between the two countries, because the Modi government, Narendra Modi government makes Pakistan a scapegoat for what's happening in Kashmir.
So you're saying on the Indian part there's no will to settle this issue?
I think the relationship probably have been the worst since the Narendra Modi government came in, which is a very hardline government. And actually give full marks to Pakistan for trying to get better relations. But you see, as long as Kashmir is such an issue now because of this movement gaining momentum, and then the atrocities of the Indian troops, violation of human rights in Kashmir, then Pakistan is blamed, and Pakistan, on the other hand, has to support the Kashmiri movement, freedom movement. So that's the problem right now. But ideally, we should have peace with India, and the whole subcontinent is held hostage to the Kashmir issue.
Hundreds of angry parents in China have been scrambling for answers this week after revelations that their children may have received faulty immunization. That too under a state-sponsored vaccine program, and it's not the first time that such a vaccine scandal has erupted in China. Chinese President Xi Jinping, currently in South Africa, has called this episode, quote-unquote, vile and shocking. But what's the country doing about it? To start with, it has censored the word vaccine on social media.
Chinese parents are extremely worried. Will their children be affected if they were to have taken unsafe vaccination? This is due to the recent rabies vaccine scandal, which has ignited public outrage across the country. News that pharmaceutical manufacturer Changchun Changsheng Biotechnology had fabricated records and was ordered to cease production of rabies vaccines has revived deep consumer fears over product safety in the country.
I was extremely worried when I first heard about this scandal. Ever since my child was born, his first and second vaccinations were all done in the hospital. This vaccine was supposed to protect my kid's health and strengthen his immune system. But now that fake vaccines have been found and many of them are useless, I don't know what else I can do to guarantee the health of my children. If we can't guarantee the basics of vaccine protection for our children, is there a difference between getting a vaccine or not? Getting one may even affect your kid's health.
I think this is really irresponsible behavior towards the common folk. I think the government should strengthen the regulation of this industry. After all, it's not like the common folk can do anything about it, right? The government should do more to regulate this company. Us common folk are powerless. If we use anything that is below standard, it's useless for us to then go to the courts. We hope the government shows some strength in dealing with this.
Parents took to the popular Chinese social media platform Weibo to express their concern and anger, but the government was quick to step in and regulate the outburst. Scholars at the University of Hong Kong said the word vaccine was among the most restricted on the microblogging site over the weekend. Media reports in China claim of 120,000 accounts monitored on Weibo, 63 of every 10,000 posts were censored. The outrage is due to the fact that China has been hit by similar scandals in recent years. In March 2016, authorities busted an illegal vaccine ring at the Shandong Zhaoxing biotech firm. They arrested 130 people over the improper storage and transport of millions of dollars worth of mostly expired vaccines, including shots for polio, rabies, hepatitis B and flu. More than 350 government officials were eventually fired or demoted. But it wasn't only the vaccines industry that was hit by scandals involving products for infants. In July 2012, high levels of a cancer-causing toxin were detected in infant formula. But worse, in September 2008, 6 children died after consuming milk powder laced with melamine. A further 300,000 children fell ill, many with renal failure. As in previous cases, authorities have announced a series of investigations and vowed that heads would roll. Bureau Report, WION.
China feels the vaccine scandal is being blown out of proportion, so the authorities have gone in a damage control mode by censoring social media posts. Reports say that one can't even search the word vaccine on Weibo, that's China's equivalent of Twitter. It is believed that for every 10,000 posts made across the 120,000 accounts monitored, an average of 63 were blocked. That's the kind of crackdown that China is witnessing, and President Xi Jinping is behind it. He's behind the crackdown on the discourse over the vaccine scandal, which in his own words is appalling. The 2 posts that reportedly disappeared were calling for the resignation of officials under whose nose such a big scandal unfolded. Another post said how people of Hong Kong and Macau are rejecting mainland China's system because of reasons like these. Online posts about the scandal are fast disappearing from the internet, but there hasn't been a blanket ban. People can still mention the scandal and quote authorities to disseminate information, we are told. The critics say that the current level of censorship is higher than for the current scandal than it was in 2016 for a similar incident involving unsafe vaccines that left 4 people dead. The country's print media is also bearing the brunt of the censorship. Reports suggest that the coverage was banned on Tuesday in the dailies across China, and thereafter there were directions to tone down this coverage.